Fightnewz.
What it is, what it do, what's happening, what's new. It's your boy, and we about to have another Fight News review. Now, right now we're about to talk about pound for pound list. And who is really at the top of the pound for pound list, this imaginary list. Yeah, let's talk about what pound for pound really is. Pound for pound is basically a mythical ranking where you take out where we had no weight and it's going to be universal for all the fighters in boxing or in MMA, how you will do it. And then we're gonna and it's imaginary too. Okay, so it's literally just like it's literally just like whatever you think. So when people argue about pound for pound lists, that's like the dumbest arguments I've ever had and heard of my entire life. Because there's no scale. It's just an imaginary scale. It's just it's however you feel at that moment, however you want it to be. Even if you like make a certain scale up, like it's just always going to be like an argument. It never really works because it's the weight class thing. But it's really how people rank their favorites. It's how a lot of people just rank their favorite fighter, like who they think is the best. I think this guy's the best, so I want him at the top because he did this, he did that. You know what I mean? That's really all it is. And then what other people they can name off the top of their head, they put them at 2 and 3 and 4, or whatever the status quo is, they put those people in wherever they want to put them in. But we're not really and you see like what's going on now is that you're hearing the people say, well, he's the face of boxing, so he's he has to be the best pound for pound fighter in the world. That's not necessarily true. Like when I remember when Oscar and Floyd fought, Floyd was the best fighter in the world, but Oscar was the biggest draw in the face of boxing. So it's not like, but yes, you're gonna have a lot of fans that'll be like, yeah, Oscar was the best. He was you know what I mean? He's the best when they're going, you know what I mean? It's just the way it is. But like, because people will always make an argument for the person they like more. That's what you gotta understand with boxing. In boxing and in fighting, period. Anything in life, people are always gonna fight for what they want more. They're not gonna, even if they know the truth, and if they have like a slight feeling, they're still gonna be like rooting for their go. Oh, you know what? This is the reason. They'll come up with excuses and everything. You'll come up with excuses for why you want like your person to win. There's no excuse for why either for like a person you don't like or a person or not your favorite. There's no excuse for him. You know what I mean? You know the reason they lost, or you know the reason they're not the top. But the argument is really that you're always hearing about is going to be Crawford. For the past like 2 or 3 years, the argument has been with like Crawford and Inoue, Lomachenko, and and Canelo in there, and they want Canelo to be number one. Well, a few years ago they didn't want Canelo to be number one because everyone was mad about the Triple G thing. So they were, this fluctuates right now, but not right now. They don't like, everyone's mad at Terrence Crawford for not fighting the PBC fighters. So right now he can't be number one right now because he ain't doing what we're to do. Really, that's really all it is. You're not doing what we want you. Like Canelo's doing like sort of close to what everyone wants to see right now. So they're just like, fuck it, let him be number one. He's number one because it's close to what we want. Even though like if you really think about it, the quality of opponent is about the same. You know what I mean? What are we really gonna say that? Okay, Terrence Crawford has a number one mandatory in Cav Velasquez. Canelo has one in Yildirim. Who are we saying was the better fighter in that situation? You know what I mean? Okay, when Canelo moved up to 68, he fought Rocky Fielding for the WBA regular belt. Everyone be mad at the regular belts right now. Right now, you hear about the regular belts, everybody be like, they're ready. I want to hear about them ready. But when Canelo did it, well, it's all right. He moved up 68. He put his life on the line. Now, when Bud moved up, to 47, he went straight. He went straight to what's called Jeff Horn, the guy that had just beat Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? People talk about what's called Billy Joe Saunders was, he wasn't really highly. He was a champion at 68, but he was never highly ranked. He never had any good wins at 60. I mean, are we serious? So I put him and Jose Benavidez at the same level. Or what's called Kell Brook. I mean, I just don't see what's called. I don't really see the difference that people want me to see. That people are like, there's such a major difference. You don't see it. You're just being biased. I don't see it. You know what I mean? Canelo might have the name, and he might be out the what's called a certain name, but those levels are the fights are really the same at the same level right now. There's no way you can try to compare it. You can try to say Callum Smith did not fight anyone. When you try to make the argument for Callum Smith, you be like, he beat George Groves. You have to put your head down and you say, he beat George Groves. It doesn't make any sense, man. So get out of here with that. George Groves. That's his best win. His best win is George Groves. Think about that, dog. Think about it. You know that Callum Smith lost to what's that guy? What's the guy he lost to? He had lost right before he even got to what's called the Canelo fight. And we're just going to pretend like that didn't happen for some reason. I would think of his name. We'll put it in what's called the thing. But you know who I'm talking about. So it doesn't make any sense for us to just act like this, he's beating this super higher level competition. I don't see it. You know what I mean? If you want to put anybody in the #1 list, put Neway's ass in there. Because he is a little guy who is moving up and beating the hell out of these guys. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know what y'all think. You know what I mean? Put it in the comments below. And y'all like, share, and subscribe. Holla at me.